I can't believe the words that are about to come out of my mouth, but if you didn't think the news for Spider-Man Brand New Day could get any crazier, they really said, man, you know what? Here go 10 more for you. Because we just got even more insane news updates and leaks for Spider-Man Brand New Day that are really gonna shock you. Not only do we get more details on Punisher's involvement in the movie, on top of all of the other villains and heroes that are gonna be in this movie, like Hulk, Yelena Belova, Scorpion, Tombstone, and more, we also got details on the symbiote playing a factor in this movie. I'm gonna rip some dirt in your eye. And the cherry on top is we just found out Jackie Chan is involved in this movie some way, somehow, and his potential future in the MCU too. There's gossip, rumors, panic in the streets. We're lucky. And you know me, if I get a little bit of crumbs, I'm gonna make a 20-star meal. Cause either way, me and you know what we gotta do. We gotta talk about it. And boop. Man, you know what? Doom! You looking for this? Let's go ahead and start off all this news with least exciting to most exciting, just like the AT&T logo. Because even the quote-unquote least exciting bit of news is still exciting as fuck. Because according to industry insider Daniel RPK, he gave us more details on Punisher's role in Spider-Man Brand New Day. Specifically, he mentioned that Punisher is going to have the biggest role out of all of the other heroes involved in this movie outside of Spider-Man, which I think makes a whole lot of sense considering the fact that he was the first cast member announced out of all of these other heroes. Plus, he's been rumored all the way back since 2021 about trying to get Punisher involved in the Spider-Man project some way, somehow on a big screen. And coupling that with the fact that Tom Holland and Jon Bernthal are such good friends in real life, having worked on now 3 films between The Pilgrimage, The Odyssey, and now Spider-Man Brand New Day. I mean, it's so real, they got cute little nicknames for each other. Tom Holland calls Jon Bernthal Johnny B, and Jon Bernthal calls Tom Holland Tommy H. Plus, just from a Marvel Comics perspective, it makes a whole lot of sense to have the Punisher be this involved in the film. Punisher's first ever appearance in the comics was in Amazing Spider-Man 129. And I want to stay here for a second because I think I know what Punisher's role in this film is going to be. It's going to be a huge one. But even outside of what I think his role could be in this film, just adding him in this film in general with where Punisher is at this stage in his life physically and mentally within the context of the MCU, makes a whole lot of sense for Peter to try to tackle, both mentally and physically. And I mean, really, all of the other heroes involved in this film that we've heard so far, outside of just Punisher, like Hulk and Yelena Belova, are perfect supporting characters to have in this film to complement where Peter is at in his life. I think loneliness is definitely going to be a thematic element, along with anger and rage, depression and mental health issues. And all 3 of these characters give him a very interesting perspective to look at. And mind you, we're going to be getting a Punisher special presentation that takes place between the events of Daredevil Born Again Season 1 and Spider-Man Brand New Day. Plus, I'm pretty sure Punisher's going to show up in Daredevil Born Again Season 2. So we're going to be seeing a lot of Jon Bernthal's Punisher within the next year. We even got a whole bunch of set photos, and honestly, I like it. Hell, I love it. And it looks like he's gonna be going through hell during his special presentation because, I mean, he got the full trench coat, fully long beard, hair grown out. Thanks to set photos, we know we're getting the return of Curtis Hoyle, my fucking goat. And it looks like Frank is gonna be dealing with the fallout of Dirty Cops using his symbol within that show, and then probably Daredevil Born Again Season 2. We'll probably be dissecting like what that symbol actually even means to Frank. And he'll probably get that lesson taught to him from Ma Nucci, who's gonna be the main villain of the film, who, in the comics at least, he murdered her sons and she held a personal vendetta against them. And honestly, it's one of the most fucked up and funny comic panels ever. In the comics, he brings her to a zoo in a polar bear aisle and they rip her to shreds to where she has no arms or legs. She's like literally a stump. So here it looks like she's just gonna be a little paralyzed for whatever reason. But then dog, the way he defeats her is he fucking full on punts her. I'm talking full on Ray Guy 90-yard punt type shit back into flames. But thanks to these set photos of him wearing a new symbol and a new suit, plus he got that low bald face, trimmed his beard up a little bit, like, dog, who is his barber? How does he have time to get a cut during all this chaos? It looks like he's going to take that symbol back for what he thinks it means, because right now he's been using the symbol as a fear tactic, kind of similar to Batman's whole character arc in The Batman, in which he keeps saying, I'm vengeance, but inspires the Riddler. Here, he inspires people to enact their own twisted form of vengeance. And I think he's going to realize, like, nah, I do this shit for me, not for you. And thanks to Daniel RPK, we also learned that Punisher's going to have a whole bunch of new tools to help handle bigger threats in Spider-Man Brand New Day, which makes a whole lot of sense because a lot of people were wondering, like, what the fuck is the Punisher going to do against the Hulk, Spider-Man, and a bunch of other supervillains? Now, I don't think this means he's going to get a War Machine suit. For starters, that would undermine Don Cheadle as Rhodey whenever he gets his own spin-off Armor Wars movie or TV show, whatever. Second of all, I don't want to see another Iron Man in a Spider-Man movie. I'm tired of it, Grandpa. Maybe one day we'll get Jon Bernthal's Punisher in a War Machine suit, but today is not that day. Instead, I think Punisher in Brand New Day is going to be similar to how he is in the 90s animated Spider-Man series. By the way, I hope he gets another upgrade in his suit and it has something similar like this, but all black. I know people are desperately wanting him to have the white gloves and boots, but I just can't see Jon Bernthal's version of Punisher wearing some shit like this. Something like this could be tough. Just give him the fucking bandana like Rambo. But in the 90s Spider-Man animated series, he has upgrades. He has a fucking jetpack. He has these big-ass guns. He has a whole bunch of tech. And we even got set photos of the Punisher van on a Brand New Day set, so we know he's going to have a whole bunch of tools at his disposal in here. Which, by the way, it's making its return from the Punisher series, the comic, but my personal favorite, the 90s animated Spider-Man series, which begs to ask the question, will we see the return of Micro? Here's the thing. I know he's already been grim, but that's a different universe. Come on, bring my dog back. I know your wife basically threw herself at Frank, but give him a break. Come on, Parker, when are you going to give a guy a break? Fuck it, while we're at it, let's get the Spider-Mobile in this movie too, and let's have a nice little Fast and Furious race-off between Frank and Peter. And don't be shocked if we see this in Brand New Day. But as for what Frank's role could be in the film more specifically, I think it's going to be very similar to his interactions with Daredevil. Just morally, they're going to clash because Peter don't kill and he does kill. And I just think Frank's going to be fucking annoyed that this kid won't leave him the fuck alone. What are you doing here, Squirt? Out of here, webhead. What about Aunt May? She get life? So when Peter says, I'm going to march my way through this January and February conversation, he's going to have him in his sight. And I will once again point to Amazing Spider-Man 577, which, yes, I keep that thing on me, which features a reluctant team-up between Spider-Man and Punisher, where Punisher has uncovered a mystery of crime bosses, crime lords using gamma-irradiated MGH to sell as a drug and enhance themselves with. Not only does this set up Frank as being the one who uncovers whatever mystery is going on in Brand New Day, but it's also a great way to get the Hulk involved if they're really using gamma-irradiated MGH or gamma-irradiated weapons. Plus, it's the perfect blueprint for a Punisher and Spider-Man team-up and their dynamic, and a great way to use Punisher in PG-13 by having him not kill people. Frank's gonna try to kill people, Spider-Man's gonna whip him away and be like, what are you doing? So I think they're definitely gonna be taking elements of this from the Brand New Day era and implementing it into Brand New Day. And thanks to that redacted guy on Twitter who has some sources and he has a decent hit rate, he confirmed that Spider-Man won't be all, Mr. Punisher, sir? Nah, this is mature. This is grown-up shit. They're just gonna be bumping heads for most of the movie. What did he just say? A reluctant team-up. There's no friendship here. What the fuck have I been saying for months now about Amazing Spider-Man 577? It's a reluctant team-up. And based on the set photos of Spider-Man on top of the Punisher van, it looks like he's gonna be rage baiting Frank. Cause Frank literally has a gun pointed at him already. I can already hear Spider-Man telling Frank, why don't you try telling jokes? That's a great way to kill people. And Frank gonna be like,
I do not have time for your candy-ass hero shit.
Thanks to Daniel RPK, we also learned that Tom Holland's gonna be taking a short break from filming Spider-Man Brand New Day. But in the meantime, his stunt double is gonna be filming action scenes, fight scenes between Scorpion and other villains. And I used to pray for times like this, bro. I cannot wait to see a Scorpion versus Spider-Man fight in live action for the first time. Oh my goodness, put it on a bridge just like this artwork. Plus, we already know that Michael Mando's Scorpion's gonna be a lot closer to your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man's version, which I've been saying is the perfect blueprint. And fuck it, he might as well look just like this too, because oh my god, if he's walking around saying araña and fucking stab, oh my god, he's gonna be so menacing. That inhale it. Oh yeah, take one quick guess what this suit is powered by. Gamma! Those dots are starting to connect. And I'm not gonna hold you, Matt Gargan's gonna be coming for revenge for Spider-Man, because look how he did him in Homecoming. He got you full horizontal in the fetal position. It looked like you're back in a womb. He ain't been in some since he came out one. And as for these so-called other villains like Tombstone, Tarantula, Boomerang, etc., I've been saying Damage Control is gonna be the one that kind of fucks everything up. They probably hold their most dangerous villains in the Supermax prison, along with all their weapons that we saw in Homecoming. And we know there's gonna be a prison fight scene or breakout scene. Take one guess who's in prison. We could potentially see the return of Michael Keaton's Vulture, Joaquin Woodbine's Herman Schultz Shocker. The fucking Tinker could be the one making all these weapons and selling them again. Either way, Pete's gonna have his hands full, so there's no wonder there's all these other heroes. But now the most interesting bit of news we got here is from My Time to Shine Hello, who is a somewhat reliable industry insider, saying that the symbiote will have a role in the plot of Spider-Man Brand New Day. Now, what that role could be, that's where I come in. Because we know there's still this little sliver of the symbiote within the MCU after the post-credit scene of No Way Home, even though Venom and the Last Dance tried to retcon that. And Michael Mando has been teasing not just the Scorpion, but the symbiote on his Instagram stories. My initial thought was, okay, yeah, maybe he'll end up becoming Matt Gargan Venom later on down the line in the MCU. I don't think we'll get that within this movie yet. In case you don't know, at one point in time in the comics, Matt Gargan becomes Venom as a member of Norman Osborn's Dark Avengers / Thunderbolts. And as a matter of fact, during the Brand New Day era and Amazing Spider-Man 570 to be exact, and New Ways to Die, this is also the first time that we see Eddie Brock as anti-Venom, thanks to Mr. Negative accidentally turning him into anti-Venom. And him and Spider-Man team up to take down Venom's Gargan. But this is something that I thought could be an option ever since No Way Home. Because if you think about it, Matt Gargan right now has the same motivations that Eddie Brock does. He fucking hates Spider-Man. And I started thinking about all the other heroes like Hulk. How is he going to become Savage Hulk besides the fact that he's always angry? What if the symbiote suit gets on Frank Castle and we get a Venomized Punisher? I mean, it would really just be like Agent Venom. Or what if the symbiote suit gets on the Hulk and we get a Venomized fucking Hulk, and that's why he becomes the Savage Hulk again? Get a load of this fucking guy. Get a load from this guy. How about that? I don't think that's happening, but I think at some point in this movie, Tom Holland Spider-Man is going to get the symbiote suit. It just makes a whole lot of sense thematically too. The loneliness, the depression, the darkness that he's dealing with. There's not a better time than now for him to get this suit. Because I need this suit. It makes me a better Spider-Man. Maybe in the third act, which allows him to beat Scorpion, who I think is going to kick his ass the first time they meet. That would just fuel Gargan to have an even bigger hatred when he gets locked up again at the end of this movie. Then Peter would have the symbiote for Doomsday Secret Wars. And thanks to Reed Richards and the Fantastic Four, he becomes Bagman for a quick second. And that ultimately leads to Gargan getting the symbiote suit. And shit, if he's locked up, they could do the thing where it gives off an offspring and you get introduced to Carnage too. Something that I would actually really love to see is that Peter somehow dies in this movie. And then the post-credit scene is him getting up out of the fucking grave, just like that iconic shot from Kraven's Last Hunt. That shit would kind of go crazy. But either way, this would set it up perfectly for him to get the symbiote for Secret Wars. I think a really cool option that I would love to see explored, since we know Yelena Belova is in this movie, is that all this chaos is happening because of the Void and all the traumatic events that people have been going through for that like hour that they were all in the Void. That's why we get the return of the Savage Hulk. That's why Frank is crazier than usual, because he's been having to relive. No. Wait. I doubt they go this route, but I feel like it would be a missed opportunity because this is a big fucking event. This is kind of like the blip. But finally, today we learned that Jackie Chan's stunt team is the one that's working on Spider-Man Brand New Day. Jackie Chan even talked about how he went to London and visited the set. Talked about meeting director Destin Daniel Cretton. And it makes a whole lot of sense because the stunt team that's working on this film worked on Karate Kid Legends. Also could be a precursor to him showing up in Shang-Chi too. Since a lot of the action in Shang-Chi, especially on the bus scene, was inspired by Jackie Chan, like his resourcefulness and charm. I think Destin Daniel Cretton mentioned that they're trying to get Jackie Chan in Shang-Chi too some way, somehow. So it's nice to hear that we got a fucking legend working for the MCU. Bring him back. Plus, this just gives me so much fucking faith for the fight scenes. Like, oh my goodness, the Scorpion and Spider-Man fight might be the best fight in the MCU. I mean, I would love Jackie Chan in the MCU so much. Just have him beat Jackie Chan in the MCU and help out Spider-Man and the other Avengers. Slow down, baby. But either way, that's all the new news and updates we got for Spider-Man Brand New Day. My thoughts, theories, and opinions. Let me know what you think about all this down in the comments below. And as always, like and follow for more.